Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with a review of the Ankylo Zord with Charger, or as they like to call it, the Zord. They don't really, but they just kind of sounds like they're saying Zord in the show. Anyway, this is going to be the Zord of the Dino Charge Aqua Ranger, who has not debuted in the show yet. He will probably be in Supercharge. Well, probably, I mean, he will be. But his Zord did debut. It was the first Zord outside of the core Ranger Zords, so they did things kind of bass-backwards there. But they decided to release him with Supercharge, I guess, even though we've known about a Zord for quite a while. Anyway, I usually go over the box at this point, but my box kind of fell apart when I opened it, so I didn't feel like dealing with it. Instead, I felt like just telling you about it. But there's not much different if you've already seen a box. The only thing really cool about it is the cool artwork on it. Anyway, so since this guy says with Charger in his name, he does come with the Charger, the Ankylo Charger, which is obviously used in him, and is going to be used for the Dino Charge Aqua Ranger. I will quickly show it in the Dino Charge Morpher. We've already taken a look at a version of this in the Charger set, but it will do the Aqua Ranger's morphing noises. See, he's at ankle, and he's like so happy about Aqua. But yeah, so we've already seen that in the Charger sets, or the packs, and then that giant set too. But now we can set that aside and take a look at the Ankylo Zord himself, who looks pretty solid, I have to say. We'll bring in Ankydon here in a minute for a little comparison, but look-wise, this guy's totally fine. He gets the job done for exactly what he needs to be. He's actually very comparable to his counterpart with a couple little differences, which are actually kind of nice, but the color's totally fine. He's very, very basic, but there's not much more that like he's really missing. I mean, he's basically just these colors with a couple highlights and some eyes. His eyes are kind of small, which is the only thing that really bothers me. His functionality as far as this, just like all others, he has a little port for the Charger, and when you put it in, he's got a little action feature, which in this case is the little hammer coming down, which is kind of neat. So you can do that and then remove the Charger like this. So that's cool. So his little hammer comes down just like the other one. He does have a special feature, which I guess I'll go ahead and mention now. But if you didn't notice, there's a handle here. And they actually did something different here, that this piece comes off in a similar fashion to the Megazord when he can have his sword shield combo come off. And you can actually have the Megazord hold this, which is neat. I mean, looking at it, it kind of makes sense because it does kind of remind you of, it does kind of think you, Dawson Rider 2015. It does kind of make you think of the way the Megazord works, and it's just kind of a neat thing that really didn't hinder this in any way. The only thing it did was add a handle, which I'm sure pisses some Sentai purists off somewhere. But anyway, here he is next to Ankydon. I'm actually going to pull back a little bit. There we go. As you can see, there is a size difference. Color-wise, there is a little bit of a difference, but these are pretty comparable, to be honest. The function of the hammer thing is basically the same. This guy does not have that feature of the backpack coming off to become a weapon, unless I've been wrong about it all these years, which I'm like 99% sure I'm not. And then obviously his Charger is different. Do I have the Charger in you, Ankydon? Yes. Ankydon! So here's his Charger. I mean, you pretty much all know the Charger differences at this point. They're a little bit bigger, a little bit more show accurate. They have the Japanese names on the back, and they only have 2 flips as opposed to a little animation. So yeah, there's that. Like I said, he doesn't have that feature. The only thing that I really like more about this guy is I think his eyes are nicer being a little bit bigger. And then the only other real noticeable difference is that his spikes fan out here a little bit more. These are a little bit more condensed in. But it's pretty comparable, to be honest. There's some that have more obviously glaring features that are different, and you just slow down like a Bokensha. I've done that like 3 times now. That's my cover for whenever my voice starts to go, I just start becoming Gaja. Okay, so here's the Dino Charge Megazord. And here's Ankylo again, which I didn't mean to show him, but my hand knocked the camera. Before we do the regular formation, let's just show you. You can pull this off very easily. And then actually you can replace this piece here, which is also kind of neat. So, like, you just cut out the middleman, Ankylo's body, and you can have essentially the function of it there with the weapon, so that's kind of neat. And then obviously you can have the Megazord hold it like this. It's like a hammer shield weapon, and then you can put it down if you want, and it can be a shield. But still, it's a neat function. Like, it took so little for them to do it, and it didn't really impact the design all that much, and it kind of adds to the playability of it. Just kind of a neat thing that I think they did. Alright, so to add it on, it's really simple. You essentially just fold these up so that these line up like this. Very, very simple stuff. Make sure this is out. Make sure this is open. And then we'll put the drill back on her. And I think this is the right side. I guess it doesn't necessarily matter. But then you just, there we go, I just wanted to see, snap them on there. Let me get it so it's open enough. There you go, and that is the proper formation for the Ankylo Zord there, with his just arm sticking off there on the side. But yeah, I mean, you essentially get the same functionality by just removing this piece and putting it there. But that is the normal formation, the first main Zord, like I said, that we got in the series, even though his Ranger hasn't debuted yet. But yeah, he functions the exact same. I'm not going to show a side-by-side comparison of Kyoryugen with this because it would just seem kind of pointless. But yeah, that's basically about it for this thing. Honestly, it's a very solid addition to the line for the auxiliary Zords. It looks fine. There's really no glaring differences for me between its Japanese counterpart. It functions like it's supposed to, plus it has a neat little bonus feature that they added in, like I said, that I think adds an extra layer of what if and playability that, like I mentioned a couple times, but I think it's neat that it really didn't drastically impact it, in my opinion, but added something to it. But anyway, that's about it. Until next time, make sure you check out the Crazy Podcast or WritersRangersRambles.com. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, Dawson Ryder, signing out.